right, let me make sure we're live on YouTube. Get it going there. Oh, we're good to go, baby. Let's get it going in 3, 2, 1. Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. Today is March the 10th, 2022, and we are here with Big Ten tournament action. I am, of course, the Brofix one, AJ, and joining me, as always, is the sportsbook whisperer, the college basketball guru, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, it's time for me to ask my favorite question of the week. How the hell are you doing today?
Same answer as always. I'm doing great.
Hell yeah, bro.
There's great basketball on. Oh my God. Hey, we are in March.
Bro, it is really March now.
Tight games,
everywhere.
Overtime, upsets, buzzer beaters. It's everything. You got games where you got overtime and buzzer beaters in overtime. Oh my God.
And for example, right now, we will get to the Penn State and Ohio State game as that is the game we are covering. But I just have St. John's versus Villanova on in the background. It's 55-56 with 5:50 left to go in the second. This is March, baby. We are in the thick of it, bro.
I've currently got the Oklahoma Baylor game on with 3 minutes left. It is a 1-point game. Sorry, 2.5 minutes left. 1-point game. Oklahoma's got a 1-point lead. Could be an upset in the making for number 3 Baylor.
And let's talk about that real quick. Today was a sobering wake-up call for me. I don't know about you, Noah, but I took some of these bigger spreads and everything like that, and I'm like, oh, wait. I'm remembering now, this is March. These teams are supposed to be here, especially as we get deeper into these conference tournaments. And so that's why I'm excited that we picked the Ohio State-Penn State game to talk about. Let's talk about these teams really quick. Penn State being 13-16 overall. Not the best in conference either at 7-13, while Ohio State playing much better at 19-10 with 12-8 in conference play, 7-2 non-conference. Noah, obviously, you just look at the records and everything. Ohio State is the better team, and the book is reflecting that, being a 5-point favorite now, I believe, maybe a 5.5-point favorite. Let me double check. Yeah, we're looking at a 5.5.
I saw 5. Last I saw was 5.5. Yeah.
Yeah, 5.5-point favorite for Ohio State. The total being at 126.5, moving up just a little bit as I saw it at 125 right before we went live. I do want to mention one thing. There are some notable injuries on Ohio State with Justice Suing and Zed Key out for the game. So
but they still have EJ Liddell, first team Big Ten. EJ Liddell is a monster. Look for him to eat tonight. AJ, I think that over/under is too low.
You think so?
Yeah, these are two teams that struggled down the stretch at the end of the season here.
True, they did.
Ohio State obviously being at, only a little over a month ago, being close to breaking the top 10. They never did, but they got close to that top 10 mark. They were up in the low teens, and then really fell off, losing a couple bad games at the end of the year, dropping themselves down to the, I believe, 5-6 seed in the 5 seed, I think. So Ohio State has not been playing their best basketball recently. Penn State also not playing super well down the stretch. They were looking like they were going to fall right in that 9-10 seed.
Exactly.
Got bumped down to the 11 and had to play a first day game. Not what Penn State expected or wanted. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this one because, Ohio State definitely in the tournament, no matter what happens. They've had a good enough season, a good enough body of work. It's all about what seeding they'll get. Penn State, their only route to the big dance is to win the Big Ten, which is a very long stretch. But
it's a long stretch, and it's a difficult task at hand, especially playing on night 2 against this Ohio State Buckeyes team who honestly shocked me a little bit with how they played, with how well they played. I was not expecting them to be this good coming out of the Big Ten. But also, like you mentioned, very sketchy at the end of the year. A little bit of a skid, not playing the best basketball they could be playing, and that's not where you want to be situated going into March. One thing I do want to mention is, I'm a numbers guy at some point of it and everything like that. Just total points and everything like that. Ohio State outscores them by 10 points, 74-64. Easy, not even a question about it. 3 points, not even close. I mean, you're looking at a 34% 3-point percentage for Penn State compared to, let me make sure I'm reading that. 37. So we're looking at a 3-point difference there. I mean, Ohio State just all around seems like a better team. But this number kind of seems like a trap to me at 5.5. Noah, I'm with you on the over at 126.5. How are you feeling?
You got too much. You got too much football on your mind.
I got too much football on my mind? What do you mean by that?
Because that's what I've been saying all football season. I'm saying that 4.5, 5, 5.5. That's a trap number in football. Basketball, it doesn't matter. My nervous numbers, I'll call them that, nervous numbers in basketball for me is like 7, 8 point spreads because those are tough. I mean 4 or 5, I love it because you got a couple point lead, the other team's gonna foul, you make those free throws and extend it.
Line just dropped to 5 points, by the way.
Yeah, and I like Ohio State to cover that, despite having 2 of their starters out with injury. They do have a bad man in E.J. Liddell. He is a bad man. He is a stud. He's somebody we will see playing in the NBA at the next level. And, this Ohio State team, they have had their struggles the second half of this Big Ten schedule. However, keep in mind, this is a team that got a 2 seed. Granted, they did get bounced in the first round as a 2 seed last year, but returning a lot of their key players from that team last year, this is still a good Ohio State team. And I don't fully expect them to make a deep run in the Big Ten tournament, but I don't think Penn State's got what it takes to knock them off.
Yeah. My research and everything, I think this is going to be a good game. I think this is going to be an exciting game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. That's why we're on the over. But I'm with you, bro. Ohio State is just the all-around better team. The 5 points, the 5.5, like you said, I think I just have football on my mind a little too much because that was scaring me a bit. 5 points makes me feel a little bit better. I'm not worrying about that half point. Either way, it's got to be 6 points, so I don't know what the fuck I'm even saying. But I'm on Ohio State minus the 5. Give me the over 126.5 as well. And Noah, it looks like we are fucking hey, they do this shit to us all the time. We are now 15 minutes away from tip-off because
I'm not mad. I'm not mad because there are 34 seconds left in this Baylor-Oklahoma game. Oklahoma up by 6, which this is a hugely important game because if Oklahoma wins this will drop Baylor from that 1 line to a 2 line. So that'll put them at a 2 seed instead of a 1 seed.
Gotcha. Okay, so big. This
most
is big
likely
for Baylor.
Most likely. Yeah, this game is, obviously Baylor, a good enough team, ranked number 3 in the country. They're not going to fall farther than a 2 seed, but this will virtually eliminate their chances at a 1 seed, I think, if they lose in the quarterfinal to Oklahoma, who is not a bad team, but also, a team that's probably not going to make the tournament unless they win the Big 12.
Yeah, and that Baylor team, I'm sorry, you were talking about, I was responding to something. Catch me back up to what you were saying. I know we were talking about the Baylor game. Baylor's not at risk of making the tournament, right? It's
no, and I said they won't fall farther than a 2, but this loss, if now an 8-point game with 29.5, looks like Baylor will probably lose this game unless something crazy happens, which don't write it off. It is March. This will likely drop Baylor to a 2 seed in the tournament. Unless we see an early exit from Auburn, Kentucky, and Kansas, it's not gonna do much. And this is actually, it's good for Arizona. I like to assume that we'll just win and keep it in our own hands. But having some of these other teams that are right on our tail, if you will, if they lose early enough, and that just strengthens our case for a 1 seed.
Yeah, strengthens our case for a 1 seed, and we might need a little bit of help, especially how we played today. A 4-point win against Stanford.
We won't need help unless we lose to Colorado tomorrow. That's the only scenario where we might need some help from other teams.
Colorado
If we beat
does
Colorado
have a victory over us. We do have to keep that in mind.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying if I'm not writing it in the books yet, but if we beat Colorado tomorrow, I think that should cement Arizona as a 1 seed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. At that point, it's locked up. Not even a question about it. I love that. Oh, man. But, I will say watching that game today, it really kind of reminded me of tournaments of past, where we are just playing rough going into that first, those first games in the tournament.
Yeah. However, we'll have to see what happens, but I think that was a Sean Miller thing.
Yeah, you don't think Tommy Lloyd's going to be doing that?
No, I got a bunch of faith in Tommy Lloyd. I don't think we're going to lose. I don't think we're going to mess around and lose in the, second round, Sweet 16, Elite 8. I don't know. I don't want to speak past the Sweet 16, but I do think Arizona, if we get a 1 seed, should be a pretty solid lock for a Sweet 16 bid and probably a pretty decent favorite in that Sweet 16 game to make the Elite 8. It's March, so I don't want to say there's a ceiling or a floor or anything.
Yeah.
But I expect this Arizona team, based on what I've watched, which is pretty much every damn game that they've played this season, I expect them to make it at least to the Elite 8 at minimum.
Minimum, yeah, absolutely. And hopefully some of these guys will come back so that we can run it back essentially and do something. But
we'll see, because there are potentially as many as 4 future NBA players on this roster, which is something that not enough people, I don't think, are paying attention to. The fact that this Arizona team is so dangerous, because Mathurin will be a lottery pick this year. Koloko, if he decides to go to the draft, will probably be a late first, early second round pick. And then you got Tubelis and Dalen Terry, who I don't think are fully NBA ready yet, but if they come back, play another year or two, I think both of those guys will be playing in the NBA at some point too. And if Kirk Risa develops his game even more, he's certainly not bad at all. All 5 of these guys could potentially be playing in the NBA at some point. So this is, 1 through 5, I think Arizona has the most stacked roster in the entire country.
Oh, 100%. It's kind of like how we looked at that Baylor team last year. That Baylor team just top to bottom stacked to hell. And they dog walked everybody all the way to the Final Four in a national championship. Would love to see that from U of A this year, but don't want to sound like too much of a homer. And at this point, I think we're pretty unbiased at this point in saying that they are the best team in the country, because we have been very critical about them this season when they have had their losses and some of the decisions they've been making. I think as analysts, we can respectfully say that U of A is the fucking best.
And it is official now. Oklahoma has knocked off Baylor.
Wow.
Baylor should most likely drop to the number 2 line now.
Wow.
Which is still fine. You can do a lot with the 2 seed.
100%.
Definitely don't write off the 2 seeds. Once you get down to 3 seeds are plenty fine too. It's when you fall to that 4 or 5 range, then that's scary, because then you got to play a 1 seed most likely in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot more difficult. But
and an update, St. John's looks like they're down by 2. I'm sorry, they tied the game up going to the line now. 64-64 tied with Villanova. St. John's, they've been a strong team this year, and an upset win over Villanova. Whew. Make it 65-64 St. John's.
Oh, they're certainly not a team I would ever write off. They got probably the best player in that conference in the Big East in Champagne. Champagne's a stud. He is a stud. He'll be playing in the NBA. And he's one of those guys that, like, I don't know. I mean, St. John's probably needs to win the conference to make the March Madness field. But if they win this conference tournament, and they're stuck at a 10, 11, 12 seed, they are not a team I would take lightly.
No, they're going to be dangerous, especially at that 10-12 slot, dude. They will be a dangerous team going into March Madness if they can win this. That would be awesome. I would love to see them in there.
I mean, they've obviously, 17 and 14, not a pretty record, but this is definitely a team that's capable of beating really good teams.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, and they have beaten really good teams in their
and they're hot. And they're hot right now.
Very hot.
Which, as you know, I've said is something I care a lot about, which is why one of my favorite teams, one that absolutely blew out their opponent today, Iowa. I am big on Iowa. And AJ, I've been saying this for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
This isn't new. I was ahead of the trend on this. I'm like, I started seeing the way Iowa was playing early February, and I'm like, this team's gonna be dangerous, especially because of their losses earlier in the season. At best they're getting 4 or 5 seed probably, and they're gonna be a scary 4 or 5. They're gonna be one that's gonna have some potential to maybe knock off a 1 seed in the Sweet 16.
Oh, they're a very scary team. I mean, how many points did they put up today?
112. 65 in the first half.
That's ridiculous.
65 in the first half.
The total in the first half for this game is 66.5, and they almost covered that by themselves. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're crazy hot right now. I would not be surprised to see them go on a run and win this Big Ten tournament. And if they do that, they might work their way up. They might work their way up to a 3 seed if they can win the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be scary.
But their 9-10 losses on the season, whatever it is going to prevent them, I think, from ever hitting that 2 line, even if they win the Big Ten. I think 3 is their absolute ceiling.
Too many losses.
But they're not a team I want to see as a 4 or a 5. I can tell you that, especially with Arizona poised to get a 1. That scares me. Yeah, they're scary.
That would not be a fun time.
And there's some teams that I would love to see, like Texas. Although they were out of 5, but Texas might fall to a 6 after this TCU loss.
Dude, that was a big loss to a hot TCU team. TCU looking good in the Big 12 right now.
Again, heat check. I mean, TCU is hot. They are hot. I was hot. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's a couple other teams that are real hot. I mean, Arizona's real hot. Other than a little bit of a stumble today, but Arizona's still a very very hot team. I'm trying to think of who else I'm really liking as of late. Well, I mean, Texas A&M too. They're a team that if they get cooking here, they got the size and athleticism. Like I said, Texas A&M, Florida, both teams that were bubble teams on the wrong side of the bubble, trying to work their way in. Florida is not a team to be taken lightly either. I feel like this is a Florida team that has both Florida and A&M very similar in a lot of aspects. One of those being not enough respect.
No respect. No respect. You know what I mean? We got no respect.
The SEC is a really good conference this year.
They are. And it's honestly kind of bullshit that they're so good at football, and then here they are also.
So is the Big 12.
One of the best divisions.
So is the Big 12. And the funny thing is with the Big 10, which I see a lot of it because, being in Minnesota, it's like all the local buzz and shit. Everyone's like trying to make excuses for these Big 10 teams having X amount of losses. And it's the same thing we heard last year where it's like, oh, well, the Big 10, they're just the best conference in basketball, so they beat each other up. No, I don't even think they're not even in the top 2. because I think the SEC and the Big 12 are better than the Big 10. And we saw what happened last year with Big 10 with all those 1 and 2 seeds, all those pretty 1 and 2 seeds that they had. And Illinois losing in the second round to Loyola, Ohio State 2 seed losing the first round to Oral Roberts.
I forgot about
Michigan. Michigan made it the farthest, but couldn't make the Final Four. Iowa, a 2 seed, losing to Oregon in the second round. Iowa had their hands full with GCU in the first round last year as a 2 seed. So, yeah, no, I don't. Until the Big Ten can prove that they can win against other conferences, I don't care. I do think there's a lot of good teams in the Big Ten, but I think they're getting overseeded, and that's why they lose in the tournaments, is because they get higher seeds than they deserve. And
100% Noah. Seeding matters more than anything. And if you're going up against a strong 16, a strong 15 or something like that, and you've struggled in the past, I mean, it doesn't matter where your seeding is or if you belong there or not, you're going to get exposed. And that's what we saw last year, and that's probably what we're going to end up seeing this year, depending on seeding. Obviously, Selection Sunday being so important.
I think they have it fixed this year because I don't think there's any way any Big Ten team gets a 1 seed.
Oh, good.
I think they're probably only going to get 1, 2 seed maybe. You're going to have a lot of Big Ten teams on that 3, 4, 5 line is what's going to end up happening.
3, 4, 5.
Which is appropriate. That's where they belong. So like the expectations are will match the results this year. Whereas last year, having 2 1 seeds and 2 2 seeds was ridiculous. And like I said, what happened with that? 1 first round exit, 2 second round exits out of those 4. That's embarrassing. That was just embarrassing on the conference. That was supposed to be the toughest conference in college basketball, and you're losing to 7, 8, and 15 seeds.
Yes, sir. And here we go with the tip-off. Ohio State getting the tip-off. Yeah, you better get over there, buddy.
I will in a second. I mean, we're tied at 65 with 2.8 seconds left in St. John's, Villanova. If it does, I will switch over, and we'll just track that score on the old phone.
Sounds good. Ohio State, Malachi. That was our boy Liddell just draining one from 3, going up 3-0 early. I mean, Liddell, like you were saying, just an absolute stud, bro.
Yeah, he's a bad man.
Bad man, and I feel like we're going to be saying his name a lot tonight, so we'd love to see that. By the way, I do want to mention...
Especially with those others... I was going to say, especially with those other starters out. I mean, it's going to be the Liddell show. It has to be for Ohio State.
It really does, as there is a turnover. Ohio State with the ball, passing it around on the exterior. Liddell with the ball, shoots it a little bit off the rim. Penn State with the ball dribbling down the court. Penn State, like we said, they were, struggling a little bit towards the end of the season. But, they've been able to put together some wins, 13 and 16, not the worst, just under 500. You hate to see it, but not the worst. As Pickett has the ball, looking for something to do, maybe looking for a 3, passes it to the big man, number 21, John Harris, passes it out. 3 shot, bricks it off. Ohio State with the rebound.
Yeah, what I was going to say, I mean, 13 and 16, that's pretty bad for a Power 5 or Power 6, whatever you want to call it in basketball, because you have those 10 to 12 non-conference games where most of them, you maybe play 2 or 3 good teams, and then the rest of those games are cupcake games.
So, yeah, 100%. As Ohio State seems to be slowing down the tempo, a fast-paced game, we're seeing some easy shots missed early as Malachi with the ball passes it to Liddell. Liddell dribbling in, kicks it out. Long 3. Off the rim again. Not being able to find the target either team right now. A little cold when it comes to the shot. 3-0 is still the score with 17:26 left in the first. Penn State kicks the ball out. Beyond the 3-0 to the big man down under Harar. And it looks like it's going to be a turnover, Ohio State's ball.
Yeah, and you got Malachi going off with looks like an apparent injury.
Ooh, yeah.
They're just injuries just piling up for this Ohio State team that already had 2 starters injured coming into this. At least they still have E.J. Liddell. Like I said, first team Big Ten. But, we're going to – Ohio State might be tested this game. I mean, we're going to see how these bench players can perform with these massively increased minutes.
100%. As finally we get another point in the game from Liddell. 5-0 Penn State as my TV continues to buffer. Gotta love that, Noah. Please let me know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say you're good. At first, you were like a couple seconds behind, and now you're a good like minute and a half behind.
All right, well, I will restart my system. You let me know what's going on in the game.
Yeah, so 5-0 right now. Ohio State got the ball in the offensive zone, put up a 3, bricks off the back of the rim. Penn State with the rebound.
Ooh, they're fighting
Taking
for
it
it.
up court slowly.
There we go.
Penn State seems to be in no rush. Playing a slow pace, which is not, super unexpected. Get a little floater to drop there. That'll make the game 5-2.
Ooh, I am still very far behind.
And Ohio State, let's see, dribble the ball, passing it. Just kind of floating around the arc here. Finally gets some penetration, and it's a turnover. That was a bad pass there.
Yeah, it's still 5-0 on my end, bro.
Penn State, the 6th slowest team in the country as far as tempo goes.
Oh, really?
As we get a timeout and are going to commercial break. Yeah, Penn State likes to play slow. Hence why the over-under was in like the 120s. But my thoughts on the over on that, which through the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, not looking super great, but it's also not looking terrible. It's early. That Penn State Minnesota game last night. I mean, Penn State shot good 55-60% from the field in the second half. I was my thoughts on taking the over is they continue that momentum. Because you know what, the overs still hit if you play slow, if you're efficient. It's all about efficiency.
No, 100%. And as long as they can stay efficient, they're going to be able to get the over. And, I'm feeling good about that over. Was a little nervous about that point movement, but still feeling good even though we're a slow starter right now.
Well, and Justice Suing and Zedkey being out, we'll see. Assuming that might have some sort of impact on the defensive side of the ball for Ohio State. But we will see. I mean, currently sitting at E.J. Liddell 5, Penn State 2.
Hey man, I would not complain if E.J. Liddell wants to pull a LeBron James and just put up 56 points. That'd be chill with me.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, what happened with the Lakers lose last night?
I believe so. They played the Rockets yesterday, right?
Yeah, and they were up, but then not up. Yeah, they lost 139 to 130 in OT.
In OT, shit.
Hey, what did I say though? I said Suns money line.
I told you Suns money line too.
Well, I said it first.
Yeah, that was too easy. Booker coming back and everything. That had to be Suns money line.
Yeah, man. Are you So looks like we're about to cut back to the action, but real quick, AJ, are you still hating on the Suns? Are you still doubting them? Are you still
Yeah, I'm a
doubting them?
Suns fan. I am a Suns fan. I've been supporting the Suns from the start.
I haven't said you haven't been supporting them, but you have been doubting them, saying like not buying into like championship hopes and all that. And I realize you have been scarred with so many years of being an Arizona sports fan, well, and Chicago too, but seeing that they can win games with their bench.
Yeah.
I mean, they are regular season games. Seeing that they're winning most regular season games when they have their stars out too.
The game, I will say,
Are you still doubting them, or are you buying in now? Are you starting to buy in? Are you starting to get emotionally attached so that you can have your heart broken?
so as I really quick, as we do see Malachi coming back in the game, as we saw him on the bench, on the
Well,
bike.
he's riding. He's riding the bike right now.
Yeah.
It's not back in, but
Oh, well, I
nothing
see him back
serious
in now.
probably. Oh, did he come back in?
Yeah, they are. Penn State just passed the ball in.
All right, AJ, I'm gonna try to get synced up with you here.
All right, Penn State's moving the ball around to the perimeter, kicking it inside. Little two floater, bricks it, going down the field. Liddell with the ball.
Jesus, how far behind are you?
Am I still behind?
Are you?
I'm at 14-15. 14-10 now. As Ohio State
See,
gets another one, 7-2.
Okay. I think might be a couple seconds off, but I can deal with a couple seconds.
There we go. But no, I'm on the Suns board right now. I'm on board with the Suns right now. After the big thing was after that win against Milwaukee a couple weeks back, when DA really showed that he can play and hang with the likes of Giannis. I believe they have him coming up again this Sunday, so that'll be a good game.
No, I don't think.
No,
Because
Lakers
they just
Sunday,
played.
Sorry.
Yeah, they just played Milwaukee a couple days ago, and that was the second and final meeting of the season where they lost that one, but they were without Booker and Chris Paul,
That's right.
and that game was still. I mean, the Suns led most of that game, and then Milwaukee pulled ahead in the fourth quarter and ended up, I think, winning by like 10, covering the 9.5-point spread, of course. But that's okay because I had Suns money line in that, which was like it was some ridiculous amount, and so it was like plus 500 or 600. So I'm like, whatever, I'll throw a little on Suns money line.
Always got to, as Ohio State looks to be picking up the tempo a little bit and paying the cost of it. Oh, we are not going to get a backcourt violation. It was tipped.
That was almost a really nice pick off and turnover there.
Can't get it in. Oh, but they kick it out.
Fell.
Three is good from our boy Cedric Russell. Beautiful shot there, making the score 12-4 now. The Ohio State.
That possession just reminded me of, not necessarily any difference in skill, just the fact that we have, 4-star recruits and you have 3-star recruits, and our guys are more athletic than yours. Like, that's why they got that offensive rebound and got that second chance in that three.
100%, as we do see a brick from number 23, Dalian Johnson. Rough start for Penn State Nittany Lions, as Ohio State continues to move the ball around. Big man number 50, Joey Brunk, with the ball. Kicks it out to Liddell. Oh, no, that wasn't Liddell. My bad, Malachi.
Well, AJ, this game's looking... Ooh, nice little three there.
Liddell looking at his hands like, how did that happen? Am I this hot right now?
Yeah, they're too hot. He's like, don't touch me, I'll burn you. No, hey, this game looking good if you're an underbetter so far through the first 10 minutes or so. Obviously, that can change in a heartbeat with college basketball, as we surely know. But you only got 19.
Commercial break.
Only got 19 points. Like I said, with taking the over, I was hoping Penn State would continue that shooting efficiency that they had against Minnesota. 4 points in 9 minutes of play. Not very efficient, I can tell you that much.
No, not efficient at all. I've seen old Hummers that are more fuel efficient than this shooting is right now. But like you mentioned, this is college ball. That can change in the matter of a commercial break. You know what I mean? They can come back and go on a 10-0 run, and then boom, over's looking real fucking good at that point.
By the way, AJ, we had in the St. John's Villanova game.
Oh.
So it was tied 65-65 with 2.8 seconds left, right? Villanova had the ball, called a timeout. St. John's fouled on the shot. Villanova won 66-65 with what is as close as you can get to basically a walk-off free throw is what they had.
Honestly, that's what it was.
Fouled with fractions of a second left, made one and then intentionally missed the second so that St. John's couldn't even get a shot off on time. So, what you could basically call a walk-off free throw there.
Damn. Well, RIP St. John's. Hell of a season, guys. Hell of a season, St. John's.
Like I'm saying, we won't be seeing them in the big dance, but that would have been a dangerous team to have to play. One team that was kind of on the bubble, didn't know if they were going to be in or out, that's probably with their win today worked their way in is Virginia Tech with a 87-80 win over Notre Dame.
Okay.
They won yesterday, won today. I would imagine Virginia Tech is probably in now. So, good on them. Not that I think they're a huge threat or anything, but, congratulations to Virginia Tech. I don't know that they're 100% in. Well, another team, Michigan State, who was ranked in the top 10 at points this year. Actually, for a stretch of weeks this year, we're in the top 10. Really fell off late to the point where they were a bubble team on the inside part of the bubble. They've probably cemented their standing in the tournament with a win over Maryland today.
Yeah.
The North Texas Mean Green, they keep rolling. I mean, they're probably going to be a 14, 15 seed. Maybe they'll get as high as a 12 or a 13. I don't really know. But they're good. They're good. They're a dangerous team. Mark my words on that. Mark my words. They might give somebody a tough time in the first round. Looks like we are back to the action. I will give more updates on what's been going on around college basketball at our next commercial break.
Hell yeah.
But, E.J. Liddell looking at his – I don't know if you get, like, a cut on his hand, or was he just looking at his hand like, damn, you so nice? Like,
I think he was like, holy shit, am I this wet tonight? Like, can I really not miss? My bad.
Yeah, and E.J. Liddell, not a bad three-point shooter, but that's not like his staple or anything by any means. I think he's 2 for 2 tonight, or 3 for 3 maybe even at this point.
3 for 3 tonight, and I mean, he's only shooting 37.5% from the three-point line going into this game, so not a three-point shooter whatsoever. But hey, if it's going to fall, it's going to fall with a nice shot from number I can't even find him on my fucking paper.
Sam Sessions.
Sam Sessions, thank you. I don't know why the fuck I couldn't find him. But yeah, nice shot, but it doesn't even matter as Malik.
That was not Liddell.
Thank you. Here we go.
But and that's I believe Malachi was he was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was freshman of the year in the Big Ten this year.
That does sound right. Ooh, Penn State, little miscommunication, 3-point shot, no good. Ohio State pushing down the court a little bit up tempo now.
The other thing about Liddell, too, is dude's a workhorse. I mean, he plays a lot of minutes.
Oh, he does.
He does not.
Just taking it to big man right now, kicks it out.
He's one of those guys he's got great stamina, does not take a lot of rests on the bench.
No, and that's what you need from your star player. You need a guy that can play the minutes and take over a game. You need a LeBron James in your system, essentially. With a nice defensive block, surprised it was not called a penalty, but apparently they're going to let the boys play tonight as Ohio State starts to slow it down a little bit, knowing they have this game kind of in control right now.
Yeah, I mean, 10-point lead. You want to take your time and get good shots with the lead, especially.
And Eugene Brown the third knocking down a big three. 20-7 Ohio State.
Yeah, and Penn State's got to do something to kill this momentum here. They're going to be in trouble pretty quick.
Oh, they really do. I don't know what else they're going to do. Is Penn State trying to get something working down under? Doesn't work. Liddell loses the ball.
got a nice rebound and dribbled it off his foot.
Finally.
And, you know, that might be the start. I mean, that was a nice little break for Penn State right there. If they can keep that momentum going, like that could be a little transaction that starts a little bit of a run. You know, you see some of those things happen.
In transition now. Trying to keep working down under, and it starts to work as they get another layup. 2 points there. 12-20.
Like I said, you miss a shot, Liddell gets that rebound, but dribbles it off his own foot, and then you hit a three in transition. That's the type of little momentum swing you might need if you're Penn State.
It's beautiful. It's what you like to see if you're Penn State right now. As Ohio State trying to get a little bit more under control. Bricking yet again. Can't get the rebound. Penn State, though, break good.
That was just
hustle there.
God, that was just an ugly shot right there.
Yeah, ugly shot from Seth Lundy, but love the hustle getting in there, trying to get his own rebound, but kicks it out of bounds in the meantime. Whew. Yeah, they hacked that big man up. Who is that over there? Oh, that's
that was
right.
I mean, the air he got on his jump there, and then just being able to come down on the ball instead of trying to swipe up or swipe at it. He was able to swipe down on it, which is a lot easier to get blocks. That's why you see a lot of these big guys getting these blocks, because it's much easier to block going down rather than swiping horizontal or swiping up, especially. That's where you get fouls.
Yes, as it looks like we got a penalty and we will be going into commercial break. Noah, can you please continue to update us on the happening of college basketball right now while I leave you alone with the D-Gens for a hot sec?
Yeah, will do. I mean, looks like currently on our scoreboard, we got a couple games at the half. New Orleans up 2 points on McNeese in the quarterfinals of the Southland tournament. Not huge news there. Neither of those teams will probably be doing much. But Richmond down 9 points to Rhode Island at halftime. That one is a little bit of a surprise. Not sure what the spread was on that game, but I'm sure Richmond was favored. Alabama up 31-20 with about 4 minutes left in the first half against Vanderbilt. UCLA up 17-15 on Washington State with a little over 11 minutes to play in that one. Colorado State and Utah State in a tight one. That one's 18-17 with 8 minutes left in the first half. We got a couple smaller games that I'll just breeze by and not really mention. But as far as March Madness implications, we had Indiana beating Michigan today. Michigan, who was on the bubble, on the inside of the bubble, might be now on the outside of the bubble after losing to Indiana, who was on the outside of the bubble, beating Michigan. I expect them to kind of flip-flop. Michigan, enjoy the NIT, Juwan Howard, and the rest of your Michigan squad. We did talk about Duke, Providence, A&M, TCU, Texas, blah, blah, blah. Akron beating Buffalo in the quarterfinal of the MAC, which both of those teams are pretty good. I'm surprised that they ended up playing each other in the quarterfinal. I guess they are the 4 and the 5 seed, but the MAC is actually a deeper conference than most people think. Maybe not deeper, but like closer. Like the top 5, 6 teams in the MAC. Sorry, not 6, but the top 5 teams. They're all like pretty comparable. They've beat up on each other a bit. Obviously, you got Toledo, Kent State, Ohio, Akron, Buffalo. My personal pick is Ohio to win the MAC. They narrowly escaped, but you know what? So did I think so did Toledo today against. I gotta find that. I think they won by like 2 points against either Western or Central Michigan. I can't.
I believe it was Central.
Central. They 1 point against a terrible as the one seed. They won by 1 point against the bottom seeded Central Michigan Chippewas, I believe, is their mascot. Yeah, that was. I would have been shitting my pants if I were a Toledo fan. Or if I had bet on Toledo. But guess what? I bet on Ohio, so I don't care. I was actually kind of hoping they would lose to get them out of the way. Ohio's game was also closer than I would have liked, but, that's okay.
Yes, it is. As we get back to it already, Ohio State just making a splash from the big man. Penn State trying to keep it alive, trying to keep themselves alive, keeping them, they were scoring before the commercial break. They had that little foul there and everything, and now here we are. They keep moving the ball around, but Ohio State is swarming. Good defense from them. 3-shot, not going down.
Yeah, Penn State just...
Sorry, go ahead.
Ohio State's been playing like pretty good defense, but Penn State also just... they've had some open looks. They cannot get the ball to fall.
No, they really can't.
Like there is a lid on their basket. They can't get these shots to fall for some reason.
They can't. It looks like Herrera is going to pass it off to. Oh. Nope, sorry, Herrera's going to get the ball back again as he's going to try to facilitate
and another
shot.
Another clank off the rim. Like I said, they're not getting terrible looks. They're just, as Ohio State carelessly turns the ball over there.
These mistakes, they might not seem big right now, but, once we get into the tournament and everything, there's no second chances, none of this, you gotta be playing your best basketball, your cleanest basketball going into March.
Yeah. Stuff like that play was inexcusable right there from Ohio State, but they're still fine. They're up 10.
Oh yeah.
However, not every opponent you have is going to be Penn State, who just can't seem to make a basket for the life of them.
They cannot buy a shot to save it. Dude, that one ring around, Jesus!
I'm telling you, somebody vacuum sealed the rim, and
they had to have, bro. It's just not going in.
I don't. It's just one of those. I don't want to say one of those games because we're not even at halftime yet, but it's just one of those stints or even halves that Penn State just can't seem to get anything to fall.
As Joey Brunk bricks it, Penn State in transition looks like we will get a shooting foul.
And this game looking very good for underbettors. Unfortunately, not what either of us were on here, but
But hey, it's also looking good for Ohio State spread bettors, which we are. Gotta take the good with the bad, bro.
Yeah, and you never know. Could be a tale of two halves. You sometimes get little bursts of scoring. Just because it's been slow doesn't really mean a whole lot yet.
Nope. Doesn't mean anything left with 6 minutes left to play in the first half.
This is college basketball. I have seen stints where you go 6 or 8 minutes with like 2 points scored in the entire game. I've also seen stints where, there's been 20, 30 points put up over like 4 minutes. So.
Oh, 100% as Liddell dishes it out to Brunk. Brunk takes it in with the slam, 24-14. Ohio State still up by 10. That is a big, imposing man down under.
I'm not saying people aren't paying attention to Liddell, but I think he gets lost among all the other talented players in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And I think he's underappreciated. Obviously he was named to Big Ten first team, but I think out of the 5 members of the first team, he's probably the one that people don't really recognize as much.
Yeah,
Because
as
he's
Ohio
not
State
really a
gets a big
finalist.
stop down under and a nice turnover, taking it in is. Ooh, is that Malachi? Yeah, that's Malachi. No, that's Russell. My bad. Then to Malachi. Then to
Liddell's going to put this up here too. Ready?
Oh, he is. He's just going to keep
Oh,
pushing
short
pushing
on
it.
it,
Little
but-
floater. Yeah, it's a little short. Jalen
But, you know,
Pickett,
you
haven't
got
really
the-
heard a lot from him tonight, but he's been a little bit quiet, trying to make something happen on the offensive side of the ball. Little spin move,
He
floater, gets it.
He gets lost a lot, like among a lot of the names like Kofi Coburn, Johnny Davis, Jaden Ivey on Purdue. I'm definitely missing a bunch of them, but there's a lot of really talented players in the Big Ten, and I just think Liddell gets kind of lost in that sometimes. But
Trying to figure out moving screen.
yeah, he's definitely a solid, talented player who I think he's got a great NBA skill set just because he's a bigger guy who can kind of do it all.
Bigger guy who can do it all, and he can play the minutes, and that's what you need right now in the NBA. Ooh, and finally, it looks like they're trying to get a little something started. John Herrera getting the 2 points right there.
I think Liddell would be a perfect, either a smaller 4 or like a perfect 3, play the wing. I think he could play a very much like Jay Crowder type of role in the NBA.
I could see that. That'd be a great position for him.
Being that bigger 6'8", 6'9" guy who can shoot 3 when he needs to, and but also can take it to the rim inside.
100%. As we just go to commercial break with 4 minutes left in the game.
Probably a better comparison out there than Jay Crowder, but I think that's a halfway decent comparison to what Liddell kind of has.
Yeah, that's probably the best. I can't off the top of my head think of a better comparison than Jay Crowder in the way he plays. He's not much of a 3-shooter, but good in the wing, good to get under and get those 2 points.
But he can hit threes. That's how Crowder is. Crowder's not known for being a 3-point shooter, but he can definitely knock them down when he needs to.
Yeah.
AJ, I'm gonna step away for just a minute or two here.
Sounds good to me, bud. Give me 1 second. Do my thing. Good to go, bud. As Noah steps away and I step in, as they say. This is kind of how we thought the game was going to go. We thought there would be a little bit more high scoring, obviously. That's why we took the over. But still not worried about that as an over better. Let's look at the live lines right now while we have a moment in commercial break and Noah steps away. Because, if you took the first half spread, which was 3 points, we didn't get to talk about it a lot. We didn't get to talk about it at all, actually, because we did start a little bit late. The lines are locked up right now, but they'll open back up in just a moment, probably. Line was at 3 first half, so if you had that, you got to be feeling really good right now with Ohio State up by 6. This Ohio State team seems to just be in their groove right now. Some of these bricks and everything are starting to worry me about for later in the game. However, it could be neutral site just kind of getting into the flow of the game and everything like that, taking a couple minutes since they haven't played for, a hot minute. Penn State not looking like they played yesterday. Penn State looking more like the team that had a week off or something or a couple days off and didn't play a game yesterday. I don't know if they're tired. I don't know if they just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, didn't get enough sleep, but nothing is falling for them. No shots are falling whatsoever. They cannot buy a point. They couldn't buy a point for the first, 10 minutes of the game, and that's not good. They're playing a little bit of catch-up right now. Ohio State's still up by 6. A little bit worried if I'm a Penn State better, but not if I'm an under better. The under is looking really good right now as they show the bracket for the Big Ten. Indiana, Illinois is tomorrow, along with Iowa and Rutgers, Michigan State, Wisconsin, and the winner of Penn State, Ohio State plays Purdue tomorrow. A lot of good matchups tomorrow. I've been on Rutgers a lot this season, and Rutgers has done me well. However, after watching Iowa play today against Northwestern, I mean, if they can stay hot on the shooting, that's going to be a high-scoring game, and Iowa might blow out Rutgers no matter how good Rutgers plays, because Rutgers is a fairly decent squad. All right, it does look like we are getting ready to go back to the action. 3:52 left on the clock. It is Ohio State's ball as they pass it into Malachi as he takes it in. Puts up a little two-pointer, and it's not good. Oh, we are getting a foul, though. Looks like it was a shooting foul on Penn State. Not sure who it was. Looks like it may have been on Jalen Pickett, as he seems to be not arguing with refs, just getting some, clarification on what's going on, obviously. And yeah, it looks like it was a shooting foul, and we got Malachi going to the free throw line. First one looking good. Going up as Noah joins us back. Noah, we were just talking about how underbettors, you're looking good, but if you were an Ohio State spread and first half spread better at 3 points, you're feeling extra good right now. Malachi making the two free throws, 26-18 now in the first half with 3:38 left to go.
Speaking of first half bets, how about my little inclination about that Gonzaga St. Mary's game?
Yeah. That was a good call yesterday.
Gonzaga obviously getting off to a pretty hot start, covering that first half spread pretty easy, and then ultimately only covered by a half point as Penn State knocks down a huge three to cut down 5 points here.
Big three there from Pickett.
And as I said, literally 3.5 minutes ago on clock, you were looking great as an underbetter. The last 3 minutes, there's been a kind of a little pouring on of points here. Penn State's starting to heat up a little bit, making some shots finally.
Yeah, finally, as they pull up for another three, it's not looking good out on Penn State. Big man, hurrah.
They've kind of finally over the last 2-3 minutes have kind of broken that seal off the rim a little bit.
Which is nice. I mean, finally, we're going to see some points going down and hopefully see Penn State make a little bit of a run here, make it a little competitive, as it is only a 5-point game now. Liddell with the ball at the top of the key.
Yeah.
Looks for the three. Bricks it. Rebound by Malachi. Looking for... Oh, and they move it back around. Liddell with the ball going in, but Penn State's going to get it on the turnover. We're in transition right now with the layup. It's blocked! Big block from Liddell. They steal the ball from Liddell. Liddell's like, oops, my bad. Let me come over there and go ahead and get that out of there.
And I know I've been talking a lot about him already in this first half, but that's part of what makes him so great. He makes a mistake on the offensive end, turning the ball over, giving it to the other team, and he chases the guy down from behind and makes up for his mistake with a big block.
It's like, my bad, guys. That was awesome. As Penn State moving it in, kicks it out. Three, no good. Nice rebound there by number 10, Justin Arms. And Liddell with the ball at the top, kicks it out. They keep moving the ball. Good movement there. Malachi drives it in. Floater, good. 28-21, Ohio State with 1:40 left to play in the first half. Clock ticking. If you're Ohio State, you'll love to see that clock ticking away. Penn State moving the ball around, trying to create some space. Ohio playing really good defense right now, like glue. Floater is good there. I don't know how he made that. That was a hell of a shot there.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, Penn State's got to be very happy with what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. With how poorly they've shot the ball this game, this could easily be a blowout, but their defense is really playing tight on Ohio State. They're not allowing very good looks. I would honestly argue that Penn State's gotten better looks this game than Ohio State has. Ohio State's just better, so they've converted more.
Did you see Malachi there with the little step back behind the? Oh wait, no, that wasn't Malachi. My bad.
No.
Oh my goodness.
That was Wheeler on that one.
That was Wheeler.
Jamari Wheeler with the three ball there, making an 8-point game. But Yeah, like I said, I mean, if I'm Penn State, I'm actually not discouraged, being that this is a single-digit deficit, because this could be way worse. But actually, well, the opposite side of that is it should be much closer, but Penn State just cannot make shots. But I wouldn't be discouraged because eventually those shots should fall.
Yes.
If they just keep doing what they're doing, like I said, they are getting better looks than Ohio State is. Ohio
John
State's just
Herrera missing the
converting.
first free throw there.
And that's something that'll kill you, is missed free throws. At any level, any team. And honestly, there are games in the Big Dance, in the March Madness tournament, a lot of them come down to free throw shooting.
Oh, 100%. And it's, if only we could get that one. If only we could have got that one. But you couldn't get that one. And so that's why you're going home. As Ohio State takes a timeout with 26.8 left to go in the first Noah as we go to commercial break for a quick 30 seconds here. Anything exciting? Any final scores or anything that we need to catch up on in college basketball?
That's a great question, AJ. We have a couple other games that are finalized that we kind of knew what was going to happen with. We have some second halves underway. Rhode Island really taking it to Richmond, up 14 points. That's quite a bit of a surprise.
God, I would hate to be
Richmond.
some loser that took Richmond minus the effing 6.
Oh, did you by chance take Richmond minus the 6?
I did take Richmond minus the 6, thinking, that's the easiest bet I've ever made in my life, and here we are.
UCLA, Washington State, no longer close. UCLA up 9 now. That game was neck and neck for most of the first half until, looks like UCLA's been on a quick barrage of points. Texas Tech off to an early lead against Iowa State. And that's about all we got for you so far. We'll update you at the half here.
We will, as it does seem like less than 1 second separates the shot and play clock. Ohio State going to run this clock out as much as possible. Moving it inside, giving it to Liddell, but not making it good. Looks like we will get a foul, though. Liddell going to the line.
He's got to have at least 14, 15 of Ohio State's 31, right?
Oh, we will look into stats and everything come halftime, Noah. Because, I'm curious about that, too. He has been unbelievable today.
Oh, no, he's only got 10.
Really? Make it 11.
Yeah. Yes. About to be 12. 11 points now, 3 rebounds. Only 4 for 9 shooting. Obviously still has been most of their offense.
Has been most of their offense and has just been a factor on the court defensively, offensively. When the ball's in his hands, people pay attention as he makes his second free throw, 33-24, with 7.5 seconds left in the first half. But he's kind of like one of those wide receivers, on a super team in the NFL. That's going to draw a double, triple team. You know what I mean? Like over top and everything.
Okay. I was curious where you're going with that because I was right when you said wide receiver, I was going to say he's more of a tight end. He can do it.
Yeah, position speaking, if he was to play, he'd be a tight end. But meaning the attention he draws and everything is like having a George Kittle or a Travis Kelce or something like that. If you want to go the tight end route, bro. How about that?
Oh, I was just thinking your football position, and I was like, oh well, be more of a tight end because he can kind of do it all. He can play in the post, he can stretch it out.
Penn State trying to make something go in at the end, but nothing. Balls 33-24. The Ohio State up going into halftime. Noah. Not a bad first half of action. Obviously starting off very slow, now ending very good feeling for an over better and with Ohio State looking good as Penn State's head coach not looking too happy going to
I don't know.
back.
I don't know what or who he was yelling at there, standing on the court there.
Hey, he wasn't happy. That's all I know.
But oh well. Yeah, I mean, a pretty low scoring affair in this one. Ohio State going in with a 9-point lead.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
9-point lead going in. Noah, what did you see in this? What have you seen in the first half that you like about Ohio State? And what does Penn State need to fix to come back and make this a competitive game?
Well, I'll start with Penn State. They just need shots to fall. And like I've said like 2 or 3 times now, they're not getting bad looks. They're playing good defense. You know, they've done good on the defensive end. They just can't make a shot. And, you know,
No, they can't make. They can't. And nothing can fall, bro.
it's not that they haven't had people open. It's just they're not converting on that. And I mean, as far as Ohio State goes, gee, just I guess stick to your game. But
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a whole lot you change if you're Ohio State. I mean, you can try to work on trying to get a little bit more open looks, but I think Ohio State's playing a pretty sound game so far. And
Yeah, and I mean, that's the only thing really is that they've been taking a lot of contested shots. And if they would maybe be a little bit more patient, really use that shot clock a little bit more, we might be able to see, you know, a more efficient Ohio State team getting better looks and making more open shots. I mean, but hey, if they need to make these contested shots for whatever reason, I'm all about it, bro. As long as they go in and cover 5 points, I don't give a shit. But no, Ohio State looking very good right now. Just for reference, the live spread is at 10 points right now. Live total is at 124.5, so a little bit of movement on the total, but not much. Noah, are you taking anything live right now? Are you going to stay away from it, or are you feeling? Or are you going to try to hedge out a little bit, or on anything?
I'll probably stay off it. I'd almost be inclined to take Penn State to cover 10.5 live.
Right.
Keep in mind, Penn State played a poor first half. We're down, 4 points to Minnesota yesterday. Came back and I think won that game by like almost 10, or maybe they won it by double digits. Yeah, they were down 4 at halftime, won that game by 9 ultimately. As I'm just getting a notification that the Minnesota Wild, completely off topic, but they won in a shootout. I shut that game off after it went to fucking 4-2 in the second period. They won that game 6-5. So, maybe I just need to not watch my teams, because I completely gave up hope. They were playing the Detroit Red Wings, but Wild had lost like 8 of their last 10 coming into this game, and I'm like, great. I'm like, here we go again. This has been the entire last 2.5 weeks. It's just losing. And I'm like, oh, we're going to lose again.
I've been betting on them, and they've been losing me money. Like, what the hell?
Well, they were solid until about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and then for some reason, they decided they just want to start losing games like crazy. But we are talking college basketball. I won't spend too much time on that. But yeah, Penn State had a little bit of a rocky first half last night, had a really good second half. So as far as live bets go, I would be inclined to maybe take Penn State to cover the 10.5 of the game. I mean, that's a tough one, given that it's already a 9-point difference, but I guess that's where I would be leaning. However, I will, say that given that I am leaning that direction, I'm not taking anything on that. So.
Yeah.
And you said, what, 124 for the over-under?
Yeah, 124.5. It's where it opened on the day. And even at 120, and it moved to 126.5 right before tip-off. It was hovering at 125 kind of all day.
And we're only at 57.
Yeah. So right now we're only even looking, they're on pace for exactly, if we want to get exact, about 114, 116.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Penn State also only put up 4 points through the first 9 minutes.
True.
Of this game.
True, they could be looking to come out swinging now. Maybe get some shots to fall. That's all they need, though, some
And then,
shots to fall, put a little bit more pressure on Ohio State, and then they're going to start moving the ball around and getting creative, you know?
and then Penn State was only at 7 points 11 minutes into this game. So, like at the 9-minute mark of this game, this was like a 20-7 game.
Yeah.
So that means in the last 9 minutes of the half, they scored 30 points.
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean, I would say like 60 to 70 points total is not out of the question. But I think that still kind of puts us either under or right at. I guess I would lean under on the live over-under. But again, not confident enough to like take either side of that. So
No, I mean, with 30 points scored in the last 9 minutes, I mean, shit. That's a lot of points. And he still had 27 and 27. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I would still lean over, honestly. I think I would probably take I don't think I'm going to take the over, honestly. 124.
yeah, and I mean, you got to keep in mind that like the Vegas lines are being swayed by where people are betting, and
they're really
I do
trying
think
not to
there
move
is-
the line
I
right
do
now,
think-
as it's at minus 115.
I do think there is some value in taking halftime lines in college basketball because I think people see a super low scoring half and just jump on the under because they're like, oh, it's going to be under, or if there's a really high scoring half, people will jump on the over. But I feel like more often than not, it balances out.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. College basketball is so streaky. These kids get so streaky and everything. I don't know if you can say it evens itself out and everything. I think the Vegas lines even it out absolutely because Vegas
I
especially.
wouldn't
they
even
have a
just say
line-
college basketball. I mean, NBA too.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, so I've had such a terrible track record with betting on NBA until like this last year where I've done a lot better because I've realized players go on hot streaks. They don't just it's not just hot for a game. And they also go on cold streaks, right?
Yeah.
And you see it a lot in the NBA. Like players will go hot for like a solid like week or two over the stretch of like 5, 6, 7, 8 games, and they'll stay hot. And I think you just got to keep betting them until that hot streak ends. Or if they're cold, you fade them until that cold streak ends. Because oddly enough, I feel like basketball is very psychological especially when you're a shooter.
Oh, 100%.
And
100%.
I mean, case A being Ben Simmons, who literally was so in his own head about shooting that he didn't take an open layup in the playoffs and tried to pass the ball away when he had an open layup or dunk if he wanted to. He's certainly and he passes it and then they get no points in that possession. So basketball
he's
is
so in his head.
I feel like basketball is much more mental than most other sports.
Oh, yeah, I would say it's up there with like
Which-
baseball or something like that. Baseball, golf.
Which is why I think a lot of these players in basketball is why they go on these hot streaks or go on these cold streaks because the cold streaks are in their head about like not being able to make a shot, and sometimes they get scared off of shooting.
Yeah.
Which is perfect if you're betting their unders and the player's too scared to shoot. That's beautiful because if they're not taking shots, they're not making points. However, when players get real hot, then they just start shooting more because they're like, I think they get into like this mental like, oh, I'm playing so well, I can't miss. Like I'm just going to take every shot, and sometimes they just start making every shot. And I don't think I would argue that the percentage-wise, it like stays pretty much the same. It's just like mental. Players take less shots when they're cold.
Yeah.
Now, not everyone. There are certain players that will.
Oh, I lost Noah.
totally one of those who will just, he does not care.
Whoa, you're back.
I am. Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Oh, shit. Okay, that was cool. Anyway, no, yeah, I didn't think about it that way, but yeah, it's not seeing shots fall, getting in your own head and everything. Ben Simmons, I guess, is the perfect case for that. And yeah, compare it to baseball, compare it to golf, if you're in a slump or something, you got the yips, I mean, just one of those things, you got to get out of that slump and get back into it. And once you get out of that cold streak, you get hot again.
I would argue the difference, though, is baseball and golf. Like baseball, it doesn't matter. You still got to step up to the plate. You still got to take your at bat.
True.
Golf, you still got to step up to the ball. You still got to hit it.
Yeah, either way, no matter what, you can't just dish it out to someone else.
The difference in basketball is if you're doubting yourself, which I have seen with a number of players when they're on a cold streak and they're doubting themselves, they have an open shot and they pass the ball off. And so that's why it's beautiful, like, from a betting perspective, like taking the unders when a player's cold.
Yeah.
Because they're in their own head and they don't want to shoot the ball. And, the opposite of that, if a player's hot, they're going to be more inclined to take even, like, contested shots, which it doesn't matter because if you're taking, like, points over, under, or something like that, like, nobody's betting on, like percentage.
Yeah.
So if a player's hot and taking heat check shots, it doesn't matter. I mean, they might have a lower percentage of making that shot, but the more shots they take, the more are going to go in. It's just.
No, 100%. And I mean, and we're seeing it here. Liddell taking a lot of contested shots. This Ohio State team in general just taking contested shots, but it's working. They're making baskets. They're the hotter team right now. And if they can keep making it fall, if they can keep doing this, I mean, it's going to continue to just be Ohio State all game long. Penn State, as we discussed, needs to come out swinging. They really need an explosive start to the second half. They need a 6-0, 5-0 run, get competitive, get in there, and show Ohio State, hey, we're here to compete, we're here to play. Because if Ohio State gets comfortable, they can start running out the clock, playing with the clock. It's going to be a rough game for us to watch the rest of it.
Yeah. AJ, I do have 3 updates here.
All right, let me hear them.
So Texas Tech in the quarterfinal in the Big 12 championship against Iowa State, they are off to a 27-11 start. 7 minutes left in the first half of that one.
Dang.
North Carolina up 21-11 against Virginia in the quarterfinal of the ACC tournament with a little under 8 minutes left in that. And close to 10 minutes into the quarterfinal in the Big East tournament, UConn is up 17-9 on Seton Hall. So a couple of hot starts there for teams that are going on right now. I know you love Seton Hall.
You will be proud of me, Noah. I didn't take them.
Did you take them yesterday when they almost lost to Georgetown?
No, I have not touched them in the last 3 weeks. I have stayed far away from them. I have not bet on them in the last 3 weeks because they've just been breaking my heart, bro.
Was that after I lectured you on how they suck?
That may have been one of those times. Yeah, it may have been after one of those times you lectured me. And I was like, yeah, no, maybe they are that bad.
And you have done well the last 2 years before this year, the last 2 years prior, on betting on Seton Hall, and they have done you very well, and I know that's why you have a little bit of a hard on for them, but
true.
This year they have not been good.
They have broken my heart.
Georgetown, who didn't win a single conference game this year, very nearly beat them in the first round of the Big East tournament.
All I was thinking watching that game, Noah, was Georgetown would just run the tables right here and go to the big dance, not winning a single play in conference. That totally makes sense.
Well, that's how they made the tournament last year.
Yeah.
They got a 12 seed after winning the Big East because they had a losing record. I think they had so there's 11 teams in the Big East. At least they had the 9 seed last year, so it wasn't like as bad, but like that would have for sure been the first time any team's gone 0 in conference play in the regular season, and then just that would have been so funny if Georgetown just ran the table, and then we had they had 6 wins in the regular season in non-conference, so that would have been add 4 more. It would have been like 10 and I don't know.
10 and math.
Would have been like
That's ridiculous. It would have been stupid. That's what it would have been.
It would have been so funny if a 10 and 20 team. The record would have been like 10 and 19, 10 and 20, 10 and 21, something like that.
And could you imagine they make the tournament and a team that won their conference wasn't in, dude? That'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, that rule is ridiculous. Talking about Bellarmine.
Yes, sir. Bellarmine, hell of a season, won their conference, no ticket to the dance. That's just.
I also think it's
stupid, though.
I also think it's so stupid too that so they beat Jacksonville in the conference championship.
Yeah.
But Jacksonville doesn't get in. Jacksonville State, who got beat in the semifinal by Jacksonville, gets in because they won the regular season title.
So then what are we doing with the conference? What does the conference matter then?
So neither of the 2 teams that were in the conference tournament championship are going to be playing in March.
Unbelievable.
Not that it matters. I mean, it matters from like a fairness perspective, but any of those 3 teams, Bellarmine, Jacksonville, or Jacksonville State, they're all going to get clapped by a 1 or a 2 seed in the first round, anyways. So.
Oh, 100%. As we do look to be getting ready for tip-off, excuse me, we're back in the game. That's all I'm trying to say here. Yeah. Penn State with the ball, dishing it around a little bit. Like we said, they got to get something started early. They cannot be asleep at the wheel going into the rest of this game. As John Harrar will draw the foul, first foul of the game. Maybe these free throws or something that get them back into it.
That and one would have been real nice there if he had gotten that ball to bounce in.
But hey, they'll take 2 if they can get it. 2 shots coming. First one is good. 25-33. There we go. Maybe it just takes some free throws. See the ball go in.
Somehow ended up about 2 seconds ahead of me now.
Did I?
Yeah.
What the hell? Second one's good as well.
You could also fast forward and get close to a minute ahead of you if I wanted to.
Very true. As Ohio State now with the ball, moving it around the court. Big shot from Malachi, and it goes in. 2 points. Ohio State still making it work. As Penn State moving the ball around, trying to make something work. Big 3 coming. Bricks it again. Ohio State with the rebound. Liddell with the ball. Passes it up the court. Gets it in there. Big man with it. Keeps moving inside. Double teamed. Takes it out. Kicking it around the court. Seeing what feels good. Liddell with the ball. Drives. I believe that was on the floor.
Yeah, we're going to get a foul called here. Did they call that on the floor, or is he shooting free throws? Looks like he's shooting free.
It does look like it looked like it was on the floor to me, but no, it was on the floor. There we go. Liddell's still with the ball, though, either way. Still driving it in. God, ooh. Maybe we're getting a shooting foul on that one. He'll be going to the line there.
Oh, yeah, I zoomed forward too much.
Aggressive start from Liddell early. I mean, he wants to get involved. He wants to stay. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Malachi taking the free throws. Him getting the foul.
Yeah, Malachi Branham there.
And the first one's good. Up by 10 now, Ohio State with 18:49 left in the second half. Ohio State, man, they're looking good. It looks like they are going to be playing Purdue tomorrow if everything stays the way it's going. We were talking a little bit while you were gone about Big Ten matchups tomorrow. Have you looked at any of those games yet? Does anything stick out to you?
Was Purdue got the 2 seed?
I believe so, yeah.
No, they got the 3. Did they not?
Three or 2, yeah. They got early, though, as Penn State with a
I
big
think
3 goes in. That was our...
I think
Let's pick it now.
they might have. I want to say Wisconsin and Illinois split the regular season title. I think Purdue lost an extra game there and dropped to the 3 seed, which would make sense. Them playing Ohio State as a 6.
Yeah. So Ohio State, big shot, big 3, no good.
Which is fine. I mean, it's okay. We all know who the best team in the Big Ten is right now.
Yeah. No, we really will.
No, and you know who that is, AJ? It's the goddamn Iowa Hawkeyes.
You are really on them right now.
I'm not even kidding. I
Ooh.
they're Wisconsin's a joke. Illinois is good, but not that good. Ohio State's good, but not that good. Purdue, I still do think Purdue's dangerous, but they've shown a lot of weakness the last couple weeks of the season.
Buffering, what's going on?
Rutgers is only good at home. So playing in Indianapolis, they're just gonna lose their first game that they have to play.
Yeah, Rutgers is playing Iowa tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, give me Iowa 1,000% because, like I said, Rutgers is only good at home. I don't know why it is, but this season they're only good at home.
Nice 2 by Liddell there. How far behind am I?
Just saw that same 2.
Okay, cool. I thought I was further behind.
Right, we got 1652, 51, and
1644 right now. 43, 2.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're like 2.5 seconds ahead of me, but
I'll get it. John Herrera tries to take it in, can't get it. Finally gets it and 1 going. John Herrera taking punishment down under, but really committing to the play, finishing it through, getting that ball in there and going to the free throw line.
But yeah, it's a crappy draw for Rutgers because I'm telling you, Iowa is not a team you want to play right now.
No, not without their shooting.
And Rutgers, a team that they're in, but they're not immune to being dropped out of the field where they're sitting, despite being a 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament. You know, Iowa and Ohio State are much more solidly in the tournament than they are. Which is, I think, I think part of that's just disrespect on Rutgers because they're not as established of a brand in either football or basketball or in general.
Exactly. As Ohio State misses another big 3 there, 39-34 with 16:08 left in the second half. Penn State moving the ball around, takes it in. 2 points again from Pickett. Looking good there, 36-39, 10-2 scoring run in the last 2 minutes. No, this is what we said Penn State had to do to get it moving, to stay in this game, to keep it competitive. And here we are with that 10-2 run, making Ohio State look for answers.
And this is looking very similar to the game last night that Penn State played. They were flat in the first half, and they were very efficient shooting in the second half, and that's how they've been so far this game.
Ooh, no foul call there.
If they can keep up this offensive efficiency that they've got, of course, as I'm saying that, they missed a shot, but if they can keep up this offensive efficiency that they've been playing with the first 5 minutes of this half, they can give Ohio State a run for their money in this game.
They can, as they kick the ball down to Liddell, trying to move into the paint. Little spin move, 2 points, and we'll get the and 1. Looking for a 3-point play here from Liddell when we get back from commercial break. Hell of a turn of events there. Beautiful little move there. Oof. Pretty pretty. 41-36, 15 minutes left in the second half. That was a nice play by Liddell there.
Yeah. That was nice.
You know, all your praise for him might be worth it. I mean, might be worthy.
Yeah, so we got tomorrow in the Big Ten, Michigan State, Purdue. That might not be right. No. Winner of this game plays Purdue. Sorry, you mentioned that already, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Michigan State, Wisconsin tomorrow. And then Indiana, Illinois.
Oh, not bad. Those will be some good games.
Yeah, which don't be surprised if Michigan State knocks off Wisconsin. This Wisconsin team is weak as fuck. Them and Providence. I mean, I don't know how many weeks I have to keep saying this until people will listen. I mean, most people realize that both of these teams are weak, except for Wisconsin fans and then Providence fans. But I don't know anybody who's a Providence fan, so I don't really hear anything from that. There are plenty of people who are Wisconsin fans who are just like, they're like, no, we deserve a 2 seed. No, you don't deserve a 2 seed. You're going to be an early exit in the tournament. Just calm down.
Hopefully, that'd be nice.
AJ, I got to step away real quick.
Sounds good.
Relieve myself.
Get a memento, por favor. Get everything set up, and boom, you're clear. Yep, it's just me now. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to just talk about the game a little bit more. Well, let's talk about tomorrow a little bit. The Illinois-Indiana game. This Illinois team, I'm very, very low on. I do not expect a lot from them. Give me Indiana tomorrow with the points. Like Noah said, I'm fading Wisconsin until Wisconsin's not playing anymore because Wisconsin is not a good basketball team whatsoever. As it looks like we're getting ready to go back into play. Big Nut being shown, the Lion being shown. Oh, yeah, we are here. It is March. It is a beautiful time of year, and it's a good time for me to mention that live for the first 2 rounds of March Madness starting on March 17th, we will be live on YouTube and in Decentraland, a metaverse that is brand new. We have a studio in there. You can go and check it out. The event should be in the description down below. If it's not, put it in the comments, and I will throw it in there when Noah gets back. It's really exciting. It's a brand new way to look at sports media and sports coverage, and we'll be live streaming all 4 days of the first 2 rounds of action in March Madness. We are beyond excited to be covering. We'll be live betting, live reacting to everything as Liddell hits the free throw for the 3-point play, 42-36 with 15 minutes left. Penn State really doing what we said they had to do. They came out with that 10-0 run in the first 5 minutes of the game, and they're comfortably, back. It's an 8-point difference right now. I mean, a 6-point difference, excuse me, as they're driving in the paint. Little floater, make that a 4-point game by Pickett with another floater in the paint. He's been really dangerous down there in this second half. If he can keep doing it, this is going to continue to be a competitive game. Liddell with the ball now, dribbling it out. We've been seeing him do that a lot. Contested 3, not an issue for Cedric Russell. He said, please get in my face a little bit more so it hurts when I drop it in your face like that. And it looks like, oh no, Penn will not be taking a timeout. I thought they were going to take a timeout as they are moving the ball around, trying to figure something out. Get the ball back to Pickett. Pickett kicks it out. Big 3. Bricks it. No good. 38-45. 14 minutes left in the second half as Cedric is trying to find something. Oh, he can't even find someone to pass it. Kicks it out. Big drive in. Oh, nope. And then we're going to walk it right back out. Malachi going in. Ooh, with a nice little lob off the backboard as I welcome back Noah. Noah 47-38, 13-39 left in the second half. Ohio State has been responding to everything to Penn State has to offer. I mean, this is a little nice. Okay, all right, nice response there. Penn State doing what they can to keep it close, Noah.
Yeah, they're Where are you at in the game right now?
I'm
Trying to
at
judge
13-10. Big three from Liddell is missed. Not looking for the foul. 13:05, 13:04. As Penn State's trying to dribble the ball, figure it out. Keep moving in, keep moving in. Goes up. Bank shot, no good. Ohio State with the rebound. 12:47 left to play.
Yes, sir.
As Cedric
We got
Russell
some.
takes it. What's
Wait
up?
till another pause and play here, but we got some other games that are becoming a lot closer. So some fun, exciting updates coming on.
Sounds
next
good,
time
as it looks like we will be getting a foul on John Harrar here.
Stuff.
That three from Cedric Russell was just beautiful.
Yep, and some of these normal bench players who aren't typical starters for Ohio State stepping up in this game.
Really stepping up and really putting on a good performance, showing that Ohio State is a deep team. Wild pass there from Liddell, but getting it out of a sticky situation. Floater is good.
What's he got now in this game?
Oh, he's got to have like 10, 11 points.
Oh, that was Malachi Branham there, I think, on that one.
Yeah, that was Malachi.
Liddell sitting with 17 points, still only 3 rebounds, 1 assist, so not doing a whole lot on the rebound and assist categories. Those have been pretty stagnant since like halfway through the first half, but
yeah,
he's getting his points. I mean, 17. But
right,
Malachi Branham having a great game here.
Yeah, and with us going to commercial break now, I know you said that we had some close games. What are we looking at right now?
Well, so Richmond, who was down double digits not too long ago, they now have a 4-point lead with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in that game against Rhode Island.
Hell yeah.
Alabama, their lead that was in double digits as well, cut down to 3. Vanderbilt only trailing by 3 with 10:55 left in that one. UCLA still holding on to a double-digit lead against Washington State. Colorado State up 4 against Utah State with 12:40 left in that one. Got Texas Tech up 19 points at halftime against Iowa State. North Carolina up 33-13 against Virginia at half.
Jeez.
Virginia only with 13 points at halftime. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then UConn up 27-15 on Seton Hall with 4 minutes left in the first half of that one. And that's all we got with the updates right now. Got a real close one coming down the wire with McNeese and New Orleans, but
Yeah.
I don't know that too many people care about that one too much in the Southland Conference quarterfinals. But yeah, I mean, we got some good basketball, and you know what? It's never over. Obviously, we saw TCU down 20 points at halftime to Texas today, coming back and winning that one.
Hell yeah, brother.
Florida was down almost 20 to A&M. Obviously, A&M won that game on a buzzer beater in overtime. But, Florida coming back from almost, 15, 20 points in that game in the second half to put it to overtime.
Yep.
It's
I'm gonna
March.
step away real quick right before we get back. You keep going, though.
Yeah, I mean, no lead is safe here. You got to watch out. Points can be made up very quickly in college basketball, as we have seen over even just the past couple of days. There have been a lot of really, really nice comebacks. So, don't write anybody off until you're down double digits with like 2-3 minutes left. And even then, sometimes you see a comeback. But obviously, this one, 9-point game, about 12 minutes left. There is so much time left in this game. Anything could happen. Penn State could easily bring this one back. So we will see what happens with the rest of this one, with the rest of the other games we have today as well. Tomorrow we're going to have even better games as the competition heats up. Once we get into more of the more quarterfinals and some semifinals, and then obviously on Saturday when we're dealing with some finals and semifinals, and then Sunday when we're dealing with only conference finals. Those will be some great games over the next 3 days. I cannot wait to see what comes out of these conferences. It is March. It is madness. Anything can happen, and the craziness has already started. I expect it to continue.
Oh, yeah. Lots of craziness, Noah, and we're here for it. As we have 11:44 left to go in this game, Penn State needs to figure something out, down by 9 right now, and that 3 will not help at the 2 points right there, Will. Nice rebound, nice movement by Mr. Greg Lee.
And then, yeah, I mean, one more update real quick that I'll squeeze in here in this possession. GCU, who was down by almost double digits earlier, they now have the lead against Sam Houston. GCU, obviously a tournament team last year, and we'll see if they can make the tournament again this year.
Hey, it just takes a little bit of magic. GCU being a strong team, not playing as strong as they did last year. But hey, I always love seeing an underdog school like that make it to the dance. They're entertaining as hell to watch. GCU made a little run last year, as it looks like we have a foul on the floor, staying with Ohio State. This Penn State coach may be the unhappiest looking person I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, just about a week and a half ago, he got all pissed off and got a technical foul and shit, and was bad-mouthing the refs and all that, and post-game, because he's complaining about how basically because Penn State has gotten the least amount of free throw attempts out of anybody in the Big Ten Conference, and he feels like they're unfairly not getting fouls called against them.
Huh.
Which I think he's just frustrated at them losing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he should consider them playing better or something like that, but I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're blaming your record on not getting enough foul, not enough free throw attempts, there's something else wrong there.
I will say it does seem like we've had 3 fouls in the last 5 seconds of game clock, all on Penn State.
Yeah, but the other side of that's like, hey, maybe your team's just committing too many fouls. Yeah.
Seriously, make them run a little bit more or something.
But yeah, hey man, I just got to throw it out there. GCU, second best basketball team in the state of Arizona.
Oh yeah,
behind U of A.
Easily second best.
Yeah, I don't see GCU blowing 14-point leads with 3.5 minutes left.
That was impressive. I think that might be Hurley's best sell job ever. That was impressive.
Yeah, man, I can't.
ASU could fuck that one up.
I mean, they were up 14 with 3.5 minutes left. I don't know how they lost that game, but whatever.
Me either, as Liddell hits another free throw, going back to the line for another. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable about the over right now.
Yeah, I mean, what were we at? 57 at the half, and we're now at 93.
10 minutes left.
Yeah, the over's looking pretty good right now, I would say. We've had a lot more points in the second half than we did in the first half.
Yes, a lot more points. As Ohio State making a fast break in transition. Looked like he was going to pull up. No pull up. Movement. Beautiful shot. Malachi bricks it, though. Penn State getting the ball again, looking like shades of the first half. Penn State trying to move the ball around, get some space again. Ohio State playing excellent defense today. Something that I don't think's been talked about enough by us is Ohio State's just been on top of Penn State the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't honestly think their defense was that exceptional in the first half.
Really?
And this is the weirdest thing. I think they played better I think they've played better defense in the second half, and Penn State has gotten more points and scored more baskets in the second half than they have already than they did in the first half. Penn State had a lot of open looks in the first half, and they were just missing everything. And now they're somehow making these contested shots, which is weird. It sometimes seems like that's the case in basketball, where players or teams will make a higher percentage with contested shots than open shots. I don't know why, but
yeah,
it just seems like there's certain players and certain teams where you give them a wide open shot and they just take too much time and then miss it. They need to hit
pressure
it
with 3 men around them, and it goes in every time.
Oh yeah, in flow with somebody in your face. Yeah, of course you're going to hit that, but you know, wide open, nobody looking at you. You know, it's just.
It's Penn State going on a little run here, 46-51 with 9:18 left. Ohio State needs to figure something out, get some points on the board, get that lead a little bit more cushioned.
Yeah, and you know, Sessum's having a nice little game here.
Yeah. Ooh, turnover by Ohio State. Not looking good there. Sloppy play.
Hey, I mean, Penn State's keeping themselves in this game. You know, if they can stay within 5-6 points by the time it gets down late, down a couple, if they can even get it to 2 or 3, I mean, they might have a chance to win this.
Oh, honestly. Playing like this, 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Got to take something.
Yeah, that was
a violation.
That was a poor possession right there.
Very
needed to get a better look. Needed to get a better look quicker in the shot clock there.
Yeah, well, he had 5 seconds left, and it looked like he was calling a play or something, and then, just tried to make something out of nothing, and that nothing was just nothing.
And we got Liddell coming off the court for maybe the first time this game.
Yeah, might as well give him a little breather or something.
He might have been off for a brief stint in the first half. I don't remember, but Ohio State is
field goals 12 points.
Yeah,
Jesus, 4 minutes.
I was gonna say.
And it looks like that drought will continue. Penn State's pushing the ball up the court.
4+ minutes of clock since Ohio State has made a basket.
Contested, but it's a nice 2 there. He was trying to get an and 1 there, but not getting called.
Well, Penn State cutting this to 3 points. We've AJ, we've got a game now.
Yeah.
We have a game.
As Ohio State will call a timeout and regroup. 48-51, 7:50 left to play in the second half. Noah, we got a fucking game. Welcome to March. Here we go.
Yes, sir. And what I was saying when you were gone there, AJ, is I was stating all the instances so far we've had in the last couple of days alone. It's March. No lead is safe. No lead is safe.
No lead is safe whatsoever.
I mean, we have seen multiple 15+ point leads blown in just the last 2 days.
Oh yeah.
And you know, we got another one on watch here.
Oh, do we? Which one?
You know,
which one?
Well, Vanderbilt only down 3 points to Alabama with 8 minutes left. Richmond now holding a 2-point lead with 47 seconds left against Rhode Island, who Rhode Island was up. I don't know if they were up. I don't know if they ever got to 15, but they were definitely up double digits for a good portion of that game. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. Another game to keep an eye on: Utah State, Colorado State. That is a 1-point game with 7:40 left. Colorado State in the rankings, supposed to be a pretty good team. I think Lenardi has them as a 7 seed or something right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, that will drop if they lose to Utah State.
UNC up 33-13 at half, bro.
Yes, I said that earlier.
I know. I just can't believe it still. You talk about Texas Tech already?
Yeah. It's and that one. It's not even about the 20-point deficit. It's about the fact that they held Virginia to 13 points in a half.
Yeah.
How are you only going to score 13 points in a half?
Jesus. I mean, come on. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
That's bad. That's ugly.
It's a bad look. But hey, it's March. Anything can fucking happen, apparently. I mean, Virginia could come back and score 70 points in the next half and shut down.
Yeah, I highly doubt it. I think that one might be over. But UConn, Seton Hall at halftime now. UConn up 29-18. That's a very low scoring game. That half. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on this here. Richmond knocking down some free throws to make it 62-59 with 16 seconds left on that one.
Oh, 2 more points. Give me the push. I will take the push. Give me the push.
Richmond makes a pair of free throws to make it 64-59, so you don't have to push yet because you took a -6.
Yeah.
However, Rhode Island does turn the ball over.
Oh. Come on. Foul him.
And the clock gets dribbled out, and it's going to be a 64-59 final.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of that this March, I feel.
That's maybe a bad beat right there.
That's not fun right there. Ooh, but it looks like we'll be getting some free throws for Liddell as Liddell checks back into the game.
Hey,
oh,
good.
Degenerate
Hey,
Takes.
man, I did enter a FanDuel contest. I do have Liddell on my team on that one.
Ooh, nice.
So, hey, the more he does, the better. I believe, do not remember everybody I ended up taking in that one. But I can pull that up right now.
You should. I'm curious now.
Let's find out. I am in the money. So I'm currently making $10 on my $5 entry.
There you go.
I had Champagne on St. John's. He had a hell of a game. Got Jaden Shackelford on Alabama. He's doing all right so far. Johnny Juzang with UCLA, who is not having a great game at all. But UCLA is up by, close to 20 points now. Colin Gillespie on Villanova. He did okay. Atkinson on Notre Dame did not have a great game. Obviously, got E.J. Liddell. Liam Robbins on Vanderbilt, who is doing absolutely nothing. And then K.J. McCullough on Texas Tech, who has had an okay first half. We'll see what he can do in the second half. So we'll see. I got some time left with a lot of my players. We'll see what they can do, but really love here for some of these guys to heat up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like I said, Champagne totally carrying the team right now, putting up almost 50 fantasy points today. Liddell at 26.3 right now. We're hoping that, I'm hoping that Liddell will just keep going, just keep rolling.
Just a little bit. Just keep it up, bud. We just need a little bit more points. We'll have a 5-point victory as well, and if the over could hit, that would be nice too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That over under Oh, I was just going to say that over under looking. What are we at? We're at what? 99 with 7:34 left. Yeah, I mean,
Could happen.
I'm not saying
Could happen.
it's actually looking pretty close to 50-50 if you ask me.
Yeah, it's wow, that's tough. I mean, and especially if we get these two here feeling a little bit better as Liddell makes his first one on his trip to the line.
Yeah, I don't feel strongly. And we got Greg Oden there in the stands. Man. If you're a college basketball fan, you know Greg Oden. If you're not, you have no idea who he is, because that was a tremendous college basketball player. I believe won a national championship, or at least made it to a Final Four or two with Ohio State. Did absolutely nothing in the NBA, known as one of the biggest NBA draft busts in history.
Yeah, he was a hell of a player, bruh. Hell of a player as Penn State shortens the lead to 3. Ohio State needs to make something happen here. They need to start pulling ahead. They need to start making some shots. Both teams have kind of been disappointing when it comes to their shooting percentage tonight. Not really making a whole lot. A lot of contested shots.
I feel like they've both been shooting pretty well in the second half. I don't know what the
better than
stats
the
say,
first, absolutely.
but at least the eye test, the second half has definitely been much more enjoyable. There's been a lot more shots falling as we see another shot fall.
Nails a long 3. That was Miles Dredd just absolutely nailing it tonight. Penn State never having the lead now, tying up the game for the first time all game. Ohio State, push off there. They're going to get a foul.
Yeah. And that was one of those plays, AJ, where I don't know, looked kind of weird, but you're either getting a foul or a flop.
Yeah, one of the two. And that time,
like when a guy goes down to the ground like that, you're either getting a foul or a flop. Like something has to be called when somebody falls to the ground like that.
Yeah. Gotta call something. Glad they did there.
They're not going to show a replay. We're not going to see what happens, but EJ Liddell, dude's got ice in his veins. I don't know what's his can we get a number on what his free throw percentage is on the season, AJ? Do you know that? Have we seen that?
Liddell, his free throw?
Yeah.
76%.
As he misses the second, of course. I shouldn't have brought it up. I jinxed it. Announcer jinxed right there.
Yeah.
But he's been pretty solid tonight. I think he's made all of his free throws until that miss. But Penn State draining another 3, taking their first lead of the game.
Wow.
AJ, we have a game. We have a game.
Wow. We have a game here, 54-56, 5:44 left to play in the second half. As Ohio State, Liddell will pass it off to Malachi. Malachi passing it off to Cedric, trying to figure out something. Cedric mismatch there with a big man on him. Trying to make something happen. He's got to remember he's got some teams. Shot there by Burke. Good hit there. 56,
that was a nice
56.
that was a beautiful floater. Beautiful floater right there.
Floater. Couldn't have asked for anything better there. As Penn State takes the ball up, going at a little bit slower of a pace now.
AJ, dare I say, this game feels like overtime. I get that weird tingly feeling of overtime in this game.
I'm getting a feeling that it's a long night in the office for us tonight, Noah, and that includes overtime. So let's see what happens here as Penn State with a contested 3 banks it. No luck there. Liddell passing the ball up.
All right, there's another rebound from Liddell. We like that.
All right, it looks like Ohio State's going to try to reset. Malachi taking it in. No look there. Liddell with the ball. Passing it to Cedric.
It is.
Oh, no foul there. Turnover by Malachi as Penn State takes the ball in. Pickett will get the 2 and go to the line.
One.
Oh, that wasn't
and one.
And one. That was, dude, he is not on my list.
That was Sessoms.
That was Tessa.
That was Sessoms not on your list.
What number is he?
12?
Those
Was that
assholes,
Sessoms?
they have him on as 3 on here.
Yeah, what?
They have him as 3.
He's number 12. I don't know what you're looking at, but
I'm looking at the
it is my
official
duty.
NCAA.
It is my duty as he converts the and one, and slipping in a real quick nugget here that Vanderbilt has just taken a 71-68 lead over Alabama with 3 minutes left.
Wow. Vandy.
The Vanderbilt Commodores. And this was an Alabama team that was pretty decently high in the rankings at one point this season, especially after they beat Gonzaga early and they have fallen off. I don't see them as a threat personally anymore. And, Vandy seems kind of hot right now.
They do. And getting hot at the right time is what we talk about as Ohio State sinks 58-59 with 4:03 left in the second half. Noah, this is March. This is what we have been waiting for. Joey Brunk really showing out for the big men out there. Great stat line on him as Sessoms is got the ball in control. Penn, he's driving it in. Oh, beautiful layup by Sessom. 61-50.
Take it to the rim, baby. Take it to the rim, baby.
3:41 left, directing traffic. As right now is
it is interesting to note that Penn State has 9 fouls while Ohio State only has 5. So if Ohio State can't reclaim this lead here and they got to fight from a couple points behind, they can force Penn State into a number of 1-and-1s instead of 2 free throw
which will be very big. Which will be very big as they did just turn the ball over. Penn State's ball.
Yes, sir. But, speaking of Vandy, they're not that great of a team overall, but they do have Scottie Pippen Jr., who is an absolute stud. He's not quite good enough or doesn't have enough recognition to quite go. I don't think he'll be in the draft this year. I think he might be a good 3-4 year player. This is, I think, his second year.
Yeah.
But given his name, he will be on an NBA roster at some point.
100%.
Well,
Same with
not
Bronny
just his name,
Jr.
but his talent. But he has his name to back him up. I mean, Scottie Pippen Jr. is putting up like 30 points a game. I mean, the dude's a stud. He's just playing on a shitty Vanderbilt team. Like, he'll get his shot at some point. It's just, whether he decides to, how long he stays there. But he's good.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we even see him transfer after this season, go to a team that's actually going to compete.
Well, who knows? Maybe Vandy goes on a Cinderella run, wins the SEC tournament, makes the March Madness tournament, wins a game or two, and then everybody's going to be screaming Scottie Pippen Jr.
Scottie Pippen.
Like he came. Everybody's going to be going crazy about him like he came out of nowhere, which he has not come out of nowhere. This is what happens every time. You have these great players show up in March from like shittier teams, but nobody watches the shittier teams, so they don't know anything. And it's like, oh, this guy came out of nowhere, and it's like, no, he didn't really come out of nowhere. He was always good. You just
we've known
don't
about
pay
him for
attention
actually
to.
the last couple months. We've been talking about him. He's pretty good. Oh man, this is a long ass commercial break, dude.
Well, it's the last official TV timeout, the under 4 minute. So.
Oh, true.
We get that. UCLA still holding on to a almost 20-point lead against Washington State. Utah State down 1 to Colorado State, under 2 minutes left in that one. Texas Tech now up 28 points on Iowa State. That's a dominant performance, which, Baylor losing today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I took Texas Tech.
Bing bang.
Plus 800 to win the Big 12.
Okay.
Obviously, Kansas and Baylor, the 2 favorites. Texas Tech was, the 3rd favorite.
Yeah.
That helps Texas Tech's cause. They don't have to play Baylor in the next round. They get to play Oklahoma.
Oh, that is nice. You do hate to see Baylor, honestly.
So unless Oklahoma has some more magic up their sleeve, Texas Tech should hopefully be in the championship game there in the Big 12 with a win tonight.
Texas Tech,
I wish
dangerous
they
squad. Dangerous squad.
North Carolina up 41-18 now against Virginia. Yeah, not close.
Not close at all.
And we will I will provide necessary updates as needed with the Vanderbilt Alabama game, which is now in the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Vanderbilt still leading by 3.
Sounds good to me, bud. As Penn State trying to make something happen here, driving the ball in, 9 seconds left on the shot clock. No good. Oh, they're gonna get the foul.
We got a foul though. If I'm an Ohio State
plus
fan,
155 on the money line.
oh God, man, I don't know. If I'm an Ohio State fan right now, I am shitting my pants.
Yeah, this is a little too close for comfort here.
Now, don't get me wrong, Ohio State will still be in the tournament, but this is the type of loss that could drop them from like a 6th seed in the tournament. Like this could drop them all the way down to like the 8-9 line, which is a terrible line to be on. That is the most cursed line you can be on, is the 8-9 line, because that means you're playing a 1 seed in the second round.
Yeah, and
If
don't
you-
want
if-
to be playing a 1 seed.
If you're lucky enough to win your first round game.
4-point game now, bud. 2:52 left.
I'm going to be honest, though, I don't hate your plus 155 bet. But
Oh,
Penn State
good
on
number.
a 20-7 run.
Yeah.
Oof. Ohio State needs a bucket here.
On the bright side, over looking really good right now.
Yeah.
Oh, big three. Not going in, but Liddell competing down there. Looks like we will get a foul there. Liddell going to the free throw line.
Fighting as hard as he can, doesn't quite come up with the rebound, but yeah, there was definitely a foul there. Got hacked in the arm.
Oh, yeah. Big foul.
more than once. He got hacked in both arms there.
He did. And we will see Liddell go to the line here.
Miles Dredd picking up his 4th.
Nice shot there,
Liddell knocking down that
59-62.
one.
Would love to
I'm
see
not
them
going to
close
say
the
anything
gap
else.
here. Yeah, please stop.
Not going to say anything else about free throw percentage. I'm just going to let him shoot.
Thank you, Noah. As Liddell sets up for his second shot. But the other announcers will go ahead and say something. Oh, at least he makes this one, thank God.
I mean, okay, now I'll say something. He's 10 for 11. It's just the one time I mentioned his free throw percentage, he missed it. So
Just, of course, it had to be that one time.
yeah, but he's 10 for 11 tonight. Like,
Ooh, nice pass there. Oh, beautiful block from Liddell, but it looks like we will get a foul on the floor. Brown the third looking like the guilty party there.
you know, in all honesty, I don't think this game matters too much because I would be willing to bet that both of these teams get clapped, like not both, but either of these teams get clapped by Purdue tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Purdue's just playing way too good.
Well, a Purdue team that hasn't had to play in almost a week. And
That's
yeah.
the big man. Herrera goes to the line for another shot, 63-60 right now. Penn State with their first, they've been holding on to this lead, and it looks like they're really going to have to, you're going to need to claw it from their dead hands in order to get it back. 64-60, 2:09 left to play.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to Penn State. There's a lot of fight in this dog.
A lot of fight in this dog. As Malachi goes up, and nice little 2-pointers there. 64-62 with a minute 55 left. It looks like we will get a timeout.
Well, there you go. I mean, hey, two more points in the overhits. Which
2 more points. That's all we need. 2 more points.
I I'd be baffled if that didn't happen. Vanderbilt now with a 5-point lead with 1:15 on Alabama.
Wow.
Obviously, Alabama in the same boat as Ohio State. They are comfortably in the tournament. Alabama currently looking like they're going to be a 6 seed, but if they lose this one, they could drop to that 8-9 line as well.
Like we said, not where you really want to be.
And yeah, I know. I'm just, I'll say it again. That 8-9 line is the most dangerous place to be. I mean, can be dangerous for the 1 seeds as well, because you sometimes got to worry about those 8-9s, but you also don't want a first round matchup where you're pretty evenly matched.
No, that's not what you want there. You want a nice, easy first round matchup if you can swing it, or just a nice upset going in there. As we have 1:53 left to go, Penn State with the ball, 64-62 left to play. This is where it gets interesting, Noah.
Yes, it does.
Pickett with the ball, driving it in, trying to make something happen.
You know what they say, you better schedule a half hour for the last 2 minutes of a basketball game.
Always,
College
always,
basketball game.
always.
You better be ready for a good half hour of real time for the last 2 minutes of a college basketball game.
Harrar getting the bucket, but no call.
No foul.
66-62.
I was kind of almost anticipating the and one call on that.
So was I, and then it just didn't happen. That was crazy.
But they said it was clean. That's fine. I'm all for it. Let him play on. Liddell going to take it himself.
There?
Yeah. I was going to say that was not a clean block. He definitely got hit in the elbow there. There's no doubt about that one.
None at all. Yeah.
I don't. This guy's jumping around like he blocked it clean. No, he got him in the wrist. That was not a clean block. I don't know why.
Someone should have been called there though.
Well, Penn State guy was jumping around like he was wronged for that one, but he definitely hit him in the wrist. Liddell missing his second free throw of the game.
Big one there.
Still shooting above his season percentage on the night.
And now we got a 3-point game with 1:03 left to go.
As he
Penn
makes
State
that one, that'll put Liddell to, I think, 12 of 14 from the line this game.
Yep.
Which is not bad by any means.
Not at all. Pickett with the ball, still killing some time as they do have a 3-point lead, but they need some. Maybe
Ohio State needs to stop.
Kick it out.
Ohio State needs to stop. Oof. They needed to stop, and they needed not to foul there.
Yeah, they did not need to foul there. Pickett going to the line now. Pickett free throws also sitting around that 73% mark. Good free throw shooter.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough time even if he makes both of these two. You have enough time if he can rush it down the court, make a shot that you can still play defense, or even if there's a little bit less time, like you can try to get a trap or a steal before fouling. So, Ohio State's still got some time on their side, but it's going to come down to whether or not Penn State can make their free throws. Ultimately, is what's going to happen here as they make both of those there.
5 points separate the two teams. 40 seconds left on the clock. Let's see what Ohio State can do here. Moving the ball around, trying to find some space, trying to create a shot. It looks like we'll get a timeout call.
They just ran off 12 seconds on the clock without putting a single shot up, and then called the timeout.
Yep. Terrible.
I don't know how you can let that happen. By the way, Vanderbilt now up 79-72. That is a 7-point lead with 21 seconds left. Vanderbilt looking like they're going to knock off Bama in the second round of the SEC tournament.
Damn.
And I haven't even checked Scottie Pippen Jr.'s stats, but I'm sure they're fucking crazy.
They're probably unbelievable.
He's got 25, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds. So,
Not too bad.
not
Not shabby.
not super crazy. That's a pretty standard night for him. And in the Mountain West quarterfinal, we do have a 2-point game. Colorado State just made a layup to go up 53-51. Utah State calling a timeout with 3 seconds left on the clock, down 2. We will see what happens with that one. And it looks like they missed their last shot. Colorado State narrowly escaping defeat against Utah State.
Wow. A lot of craziness going on. That's how you know we're in March here. 33
Washington State clawed back to a 10-point game, but there's only 5 seconds left. They're going to lose. But they made a little bit of a run.
No call anywhere. Big 3. Not good. What's going on? Penn State's ball.
Penn State ball. Wow. So, I mean, Ohio State's got a foul here. Penn State If Penn State makes 2 free throws, it's over. I mean, you put it to a 7-point game. This one's over. If it stays at 5 or 6, Ohio State's got a sliver of a chance. But we'll see here, because, I mean, if they drain both, I mean, 7, like I said, 7 points virtually ends it.
Yeah, you can't come back after 7 points. 5 points is even asking a lot here. First one is no good. First one is no good. 20 seconds left on the clock.
Ohio State's not dead yet. They gotta make a shot. Doesn't have to be a 3. You can get it quick too. Liddell's got to get his feet out of the way. It's like the 3rd time this game ball's gone off his foot.
And that looks like it will be game for us.
8.4 seconds, 5-point game, most likely, yes.
But hey, the over's hit.
Yes, it did.
So we'll take that.
Yeah, like I said, even at halftime, I wasn't sweating too much.
No. Not a bad day.
Penn State's coach telling all the players, no foul, no foul.
No foul. No foul. Ooh, as they miss one.
Oh, man, they missed another free throw, though.
No fouls. No fouls, guys.
I mean, if he misses this one, too, it's not over. I mean, Ohio State could go down and make a quick 3. Even with 6 points. But 6, you got to shoot a 3. You got to shoot a 3. Why are you going to the basket? That was just dumb.
That was stupid. That was so stupid.
There's not enough time. See, I mean, 6 points. You make a 3, and then if they miss 2 free throws, then you have a chance to tie it. But you go in and take 4.5 seconds off the clock and make a 2. Doesn't matter. It's still a 4-point game.
That was so dumb. Unbelievable. Well, hey, Penn State will be moving on to see the Boilermakers tomorrow.
Well, and, Malachi Barnum, he's a freshman. And that was a freshman mistake right there.
Yeah.
You needed to jack up a 3 if you were Ohio State right there.
Needed to do it. 3 seconds left. Yeah, they're going to let you put up a 3. Doesn't matter. Final score, 68-71. Penn State coming away with it after a huge lead by Ohio State going into halftime, giving it away, as they do say. Good game, Noah. That was a hell of a game. This is March, man. We are in it now.
Yeah, I wouldn't fully count Ohio State out of everything based on this loss. Obviously, 2 of their 3 best players out with injury during this game. Another big news, Vanderbilt knocking off Alabama 82-76. In the SEC tournament, I literally just flipped over and watched the end. The last second of that one, we got Scottie Pippen in the crowd. Obviously, his son, the star of the Vanderbilt team. Vanderbilt as the 11 seed going on to play Kentucky tomorrow. We got in the SEC, Auburn A&M, Kentucky Vanderbilt. It's like Mississippi State and Tennessee, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, if you wanted any other updates about college basketball, Texas Tech is up 31 points on Iowa
Sounds about
State with 10 minutes left in that one. 58-27 the score in that. North Carolina up 53-31 on Virginia with 7.5 in that game. Doesn't seem too close. UConn Seton Hall, that is a 11-point game. UConn up 38-27 with 12:50 left in that one. There are a couple more games left to tip off later today.
Is there?
AJ, I'm kind of interested in Washington USC. I mean, Washington not a great team, but I think USC is way overrated.
I agree. I didn't even know they were playing.
And I do think USC will probably win that game, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see Washington knock them off. I mean, people have been talking a lot about the Pac-12 this year, about how it's, a three team, like there's three good teams in the Pac-12. I disagree. I don't think USC is that good. I think it's a 2-team Pac-12. It's UCLA and Arizona.
100%.
USC's not that good.
100%. All right. Well, Noah, I think it is time that we get off of the stream, get ready for another big day of action tomorrow, and prepare for our March Madness Marathon live stream next week, live in Decentraland and on YouTube. Super stoked for it. Noah, do you have anything to say to the D-Gens before we sign off tonight?
Bear down, go Cats.
Bear down, go Cats. If you're not already, please follow us on Twitter at Degenerate Takes for more updates as we get closer to March Madness, and we will see you next time on Degenerate Takes. And we're clear.